Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're fresh off our YouTube debut. You've heard us once, and for some reason you're coming back to listen to us again. I guess you must be a glutton for punishment, because now it's time for Wrestle AM. That's right, it's half morning show, half wrestling show, pretty much all bullshit. But we're going to sit and talk, and you're going to listen to us anyway. Why? I have no clue. But let's roll it out here. Here's the host. You got me, the sexiest man in all of Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, Boom Boom here shaking the room. And, of course, my partner, mi amigo, the man billed as the huge one, Dave Kocotos. And, Dave, you frightened me. You really, you scared me. You actually had this prediction.
Is it my dashing good looks?
No. No, you actually predicted something and it came true, and it scared the hell out of me. You predicted on the last Wrestle A.M. we did.
I'm like Nostradamus, but fucking a little bit of prick. I like to call myself Nortra Prick.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you pulled that because you said that, you know, it'd be cool if, like, at SummerSlam, they rolled, like, the Miz's music, but it was Daniel Bryan who comes out, and he's the mystery partner, and son of a bitch, that's pretty much what happened. I mean, there's a little bit of difference there. I know some people are like, you know, shitty, big fucking nitpick. It's like, no, the Miz came out, and they turned him down, and he came out to his own music. Okay, we understand that, but it was pretty close. So, Dave, what I really need you to do for me right now, I need you to predict that Trish Stratus will show up at my door wearing nothing but a fucking apron, so that way after we get done having loud, hard, kinky, gratuitous sex, she can make me a sandwich afterwards. I really need you to do this for me, Dave. Predict that.
I'm not a genie.
Keep the dream alive.
I'm not a genie. I'm a psychic. There's a difference. I can tell that you are gonna be home alone and masturbate into a sock to an old Trish Lita poster. See, I only see the future. I can't make wishes come true. But SummerSlam, we did a whole recap, but then we lost the show because we're fucking idiots. So let's do a brief rundown. Bryan Danielson returned, was awesome. Yeah, pretty much the rest blew. It was pretty bad, wasn't it? And yes. One thing, I mean, Bryan Danielson, whoever thought of that the American Dragon would be the only highlight of SummerSlam, which they're claiming to be their second biggest event. I mean, all around, it was pretty bad. And all that, but then they beat Nexus, but then Nexus returns the next night, and you knew that was going to happen, but still. It's just, it just seems so, SummerSlam was so worthless. Hopefully they get better pay-per-views. I was kind of very disappointed in SummerSlam, and I said before, I did watch it, and I regret it. I even watched the first half, which is, you want to see a bad pay-per-view. Watch the first half of SummerSlam. But I said the only way I'd watch it if Bryan Danielson returned. I kept my word and watched it, and well, and the thing is, I didn't watch it live because I live in Japan, and I knew it was going to happen, and I still popped for him. I, knew what was going to happen, word for word, and I was like, this is still fucking awesome! Yeah! And then him and The Miz feuding, I don't know, I can see, this having money on it for a really long time, and hopefully Low-Key and Black and all these guys coming up can do great things. I don't know. I just hope to see great things out of it. But SummerSlam, oh god, it was horrible. But speaking of being predicting, there's one thing that we always get. And I know this is off topic, Boom Boom, so follow me. We're going to have an ADD moment. I'm reading some of the emails. I'm reading a couple of the comments here and there. And whenever we bash TNA or WWE, they think, and even someone wrote me an email and said the fact that I knew Bryan Danielson came out almost word for word and that I bashed TNA so much is that WWE pays me. And I just find that to be fucking crazy as a wrestling fan. If someone bashes your favorite promotion, they're not getting paid by the other promotion. Let's say how many people, maybe 1,000, 2,000 people listened to the last show. What the fuck is WWE going to pay me? What are they going to pay? What is TNA going to pay me? And both sides do it. If you're like, oh, SummerSlam sucked, and they're like, they're just being paid by TNA. No, granted, TNA is a very stupid company, and WWE has tons of money. But let's say we had, throughout the year, maybe 5,000 people listen to this episode. what is that worth to WWE? 10 cents? 20 cents? I never understood that. That people are so blinded by their love of a company that if anyone gets on, like, a podcast or a YouTube video, they're like, they only hate TNA because they're paid by WWE. Really? Really? I just can't
we are.
picture
Well,
it.
Dave, it's because we are, because it's part of Vince McMahon's scheme. His scheme is he's going to take a company that's pulling a 1, his company is going to fight against a company that's pulling a 1 in the ratings, that's got a bunch of like WCW guys, that has horrible booking, and he's going to pay 2 like assholes on the fucking internet.
That's us.
He's going to pay us He's going to pay us thousands and thousands of dollars just to say bad things about him. My God. The plot. Oh my God, the plot.
Well, I wish I had the email. I'm actually going through my emails and I can't find it. I might have just deleted it, or when we fucked up the show, maybe that's where I lost it. But he literally said we get paid. Now, granted, do we get free tickets? Yes, from both companies. Even Ring of Honor gives us free tickets. Do we get free T-shirts? Okay, when I say we, I mean me. Boom Boom, I don't think he's ever received any.
Motherfucker, I don't get a goddamn thing.
Do I have a free wardrobe of wrestling gear? Yeah. But I don't think fucking, going, hey, here's a free Umaga T-shirt, here's a free fucking Ken Anderson T-shirt, here's fucking Kurt Angle's latest T-shirt, is going to be like, wow, we paid them off. I don't understand it. Do we get free crap? Yes. But I think we bash all the companies equally, except Ring of Honor, because Ring of Honor is like the little engine that could. And even if Ring of Honor does have some faults, you're kind of a douchebag. You're like, oh, that's the little guy. But TNA, they're 1-2, they spend tons of money. It's very disappointing. And this brings up another topic that someone brought up. All right, first off, let's clear up, because I jump around a lot. We do not get paid from WWE or TNA. The thousands of people that accidentally listen to us every fucking month, I mean, sometimes we do weekly shows, but at this rate, month, is not worth anything to them. The internet as a whole is absolutely worthless to WWE, at least in their eyes. So they're not going to pay us anything. Now, granted, have we got free shit from WWE, TNA, and Ring of Honor? Of course we have, and the Indies. But that hasn't changed, our tone. And I don't think Vince or TNA is going to pay anyone online that isn't working for them directly to be like, hey, say mean stuff about WWE. It's just fucking retarded. It's horrible. No one's doing that. So, and another thing is, and this is a really good topic I want to bring up. So a lot of people ask, are we too hard on TNA? Because let's be completely honest. What's our reaction when WWE sucks? Oh, it's WWE. What did you expect? But when TNA messes up, we're all over them. I think, and this is just, I'm answering for me, you can answer. The question was from the listener, are we too hard on TNA? I think we are. But, for good reason. I think it's their job to make WWE better. I think there's a lot more pressure on TNA being good than WWE. I think and I'm going to speak for myself, but I'm going to throw in internet people like me, because there's a lot of people on the internet that have the same opinion as me. What Mr. Internet, I'm retarded. But what my opinion is that we have hope that TNA is going to do good and change the wrestling business. I mean, when we had the X Division, $10 pay-per-views, we rooted for them. We were for them. We used to have guests on the show. We were big TNA supporters. But how many times can they let you down? How many times can you be like, holy shit, this is worse than WWE? I think there's a lot of pressure because at one time there was hope. And, not to get all political, but TNA is like Obama. You believe that there was going to be change and hope, and then you get the same old shit, just packaged different. And you're like, wow, pro wrestling politics. You could make that connection all goddamn day. But,
yeah, plus 2 points for that, Dave.
But that's what I'm saying. So, so many people were like, fuck yeah, TNA, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Low-Key, this is all for $10. When they grow up, they're going to be great. And then they grew up, and you're just like, what the fuck is this? This is garbage. And I think a little bit of why we're so bitter is WWE, we just always expected to suck, even throughout my whole life. Well, let's go back to 10 years old. WCW fucking rules. Fuck WWE. Okay, maybe my years are off, but follow me on this. Maybe they were NWA back then. But I never, ever saw WWE as the good guys. I never saw WWE as good. Now, during the Attitude Era, were they good? Yeah, but I still lean towards WCW. Until, well, Russo came along. Hey, however, wait a second, I'm noticing a pattern here. I was a WCW fan until Russo. I was a TNA fan until Russo. There's no connection there whatsoever. Let's drop that. If Dixie Carter has taught me anything, there's no connection to that at all. But WWE has always been fucking, throughout my wrestling-loving fucking phase, 30-plus years on this planet, I've always thought WWE was a bunch of fucking retards. I was like, oh, yeah, they're the other guys. Okay, whatever. But with TNA, I had hope. I'm like, no, we're going to fucking do it. Christopher Daniels, yeah, oh. Loki, yeah, oh. CM Punk, oh. And you just, eventually, after the, for how many years have they been in business? 8 years? You just give up. And it's sad. It's really sad. And I think there's a lot more pressure because they tricked us. They weren't George Bush and WWE and be like, this is gonna suck. Shut the fuck up and take it. They were Obama and TNA. There was supposed to be change. That's more heartbreaking than anything. If I could put it out there, I think we are harder on TNA. For the simple fact is, we believed there was hope. And
that and it's hard to believe how this company can fail of why think about it. If I told you that you can go watch a wrestling promotion, this wrestling promotion will have AJ Styles, it'll have Samoa Joe, it'll have Kurt Angle, it'll have the Motor City Machine Guns, it'll have Ken Anderson, it'll have decent women's wrestling like Hamada. You get all these things right here, and you're like, wow, this promotion is going to be really good, but it's not. They're focused more on guys that their time is gone. They're focusing on feuds that happened 15 fucking years ago. It's time to
just look at the X Division. The X Division, man. The X Division was awesome at one time.
You remember the X Division? Do you remember when the X Division was good? Do you remember when there was a point where people were questioning who's the real champion? Was it the at the time it was the NWA heavyweight champion or the X Division champion? Because the X Division champion was on par, if not higher, than the NWA championship at one point. Now look at it.
Dude, I don't fucking know. It's like a prop for fortune. I don't know. I think we bitch and complain more about TNA because we hope that eventually our cries will be heard. After being a wrestling fan for 30 years, we know WWE will never listen to our complaints. Never. Never. Trust me, I've talked to Shane, I've talked to Vince, I've talked to fucking FCW. They're not changing. They never will. The only way they'll change is, and me and Boom Boom talked about this off the air, the only way WWE will change is if the ratings are so low they lose their TV contract. If they don't lose their TV contract, they ain't changing shit. And if they don't have legit competition, those are the only way WWE is changing. They're not changing for shit. TNA had a fucking their best fucking event ever for the Monday Night War first one. And I was like, oh my god, we're gonna go take on Vince. Vince threw out fucking 3 apes fucking juggling bananas. He didn't give a fuck. He's like, I'm WWE. Vince fucking basically popped the zit on his ass right in front of the fucking camera. It's like, yeah, dude, that's what I think of our competition. Nothing. So overall, it's just sad. Yes, there's more pressure on TNA, but I think it's just because we had hope. We believed. And we believe that deep down inside, maybe it will be good. And that's why we fucking stick around. But really, it's a chore. Let's be completely honest, Boom Boom. Does it not feel like work watching TNA?
Yes.
It does. It's like, holy shit, what the fuck are they thinking? So, yes, there is pressure on TNA, and I just think WWE is WWE. They're stubborn, they're rich, and they're not going to change. But the good news is Dixie Carter's husband was on television. How to save your job as a writer. All right, with that, we'll be back after this.